So the thing is, people are having a pretty passionate, I would say, conversation about Credit Strong. So in today's conversation, what I want to do an in-depth review. Is this the best service to build credit and savings at the same time? Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Story Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Today, I want to speak to you about a company called CreditStrong, and they have a very innovative service here. And their service basically is meant to build credit and savings at the same time. So, in today's conversation, what I'll do, I'll give you an overview of the company, and then I'll give you a snapshot of the services offered, the pros and cons, how CreditStrong really works, the fees, the account options that you have, how to actually open a CreditStrong account if you want to go that route, the safety of the funds. This is very important. And at the end of the day, the big question is it really worth it? So the thing is, credit builder loans, because when we speak about CreditStrong, we are speaking about credit builder loans. And credit builder loans gives people people who have a little to no credit or other credit problems. Those loans gave those people a chance to build or rebuild positive credit history. So where traditional loans may be tough to get if you have rough credit, qualifying for a credit builder loan may be easier. But if you need to borrow money ASAP, a credit builder loan may not be the right option. That's because lenders typically want you to prepay your loan plus interest over a period of time. 6 to 24 months is common. Then essentially the money is released back to you. And so what we really love here is that CreditStrong has actually found a pretty comfortable middle, and their service is really adding a lot of value to millions of Americans. One thing you need to know about credit builder loans, whether they come from CreditStrong or other players such as Self and Kickoff, is that taking out a credit builder loan and paying for it according to the terms can be a fantastic way to help build positive credit history over 6 to 12 months. We've seen people who were pretty good and they have actually boosted their credit score within 3 months, but it takes about 6 to 12 months. And so when you have that, you're gradually building a stronger credit profile. One thing I also want to say here is that CreditStrong has combined what I called AI, artificial intelligence, with the basic personal finance processes to offer a service that is pretty interesting and pretty innovative. All right, let me give you an overview, a snapshot of CreditStrong. CreditStrong is a secured lending fintech that helps people build credit with credit builder loans. It is actually a division of Austin Capital Bank, which was founded in January 2006 rather. Currently, CreditStrong is able to fully lend in all states with the exception of North Carolina, Wisconsin, and Vermont. And the company, CreditStrong, is not registered yet with the Better Business Bureau. They have to do that. They do have a profile, though. They have a triple B profile, but they're not really registered yet. So they really have to work on that. And the last time we checked, there were about 12 to 15 complaints under the profile, but the team has been really responsive when we reach out to them. They were responsive not only on the platform, on the triple B platform, but they were also pretty responsive when we reached out to them. So for people with poor or no credit, trying to get a loan or open a credit card account can seem like mission impossible, right? And so it's really, when you think about it, it's a classic chicken and egg problem that CreditStrong is trying to solve right now. Because, if you don't have credit or you have bad credit, you need to make consistent on-time payments on a line of credit to build a strong credit score. But how can you do that if they never give you a chance in the first place? So this is what CreditStrong is doing right now. Essentially, what they're doing is they're allowing you to make payments to yourself. Of course, payments, quote unquote, right? And CreditStrong will report your loan payments to the 3 major credit bureaus to help you build credit over time. Plus, at the end of your repayment term, you will have a nice nest egg of cash savings waiting for you. So, a quick summary here is that when you think about CreditStrong, I want you to think about a service that is good for consumers with bad or no credit. It has reasonable fees and rates, strong selection of plans to choose from, and so I'm showing you right now on the screen the features that you want to pay attention to. So the loan amounts range from 1,000 to 18,000, APR from 5 to 15%, 12 months to 10 years. That's the terms, the duration of the loan. In terms of administration fees, you have about $9 to $25. There is no early termination fee. There's no prepayment penalty, and credit check is not required. Remember, this is your money, and the service is not available in all. It's available in 47 states, and the only 3 states where it's not available as of the date of this show are North Carolina, Wisconsin, and Vermont. And they report to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. What are the services offered? What are the services that CreditStrong offers? CreditStrong, as I said before, it helps people build or rebuild credit through installment loans. But instead of paying the money to you upfront, it is deposited into a savings account. Then you begin making fixed monthly payments, and the loan incurs interest, but so does the savings account, which helps to offset your total cost. So by making a series of payments on their loan, customers have a chance to increase their credit score, and CreditStrong will then report the customer's payment to all 3 credit bureaus. So let's just say that, for instance, they give you $1,000, right? And they give you 24 months. So what will happen here is that you're not receiving the cash, So you were approved for $1,000, but this is a credit builder loan, so the money is not yours. What they're doing is they're putting the money in a CD account for you, and that money is generating interest. And what you have to do is you have to actually make payments on money that you haven't received. And at the end of the term, they will report, throughout the duration of the loan, they will report your payments, your consistent payments to the credit bureaus. I want to say that CreditStrong is not a credit repair service. Okay, you don't want to confuse CreditStrong with a credit repair service. Credit repair services help remove negative marks on a person's credit report. CreditStrong does not do any credit repair. It's only reporting a customer's payment history to the 3 major credit bureaus. So if the customer has good credit management, its reporting can help increase the customer's credit score. But if you miss payments on your CreditStrong loan, the system can work against you. Okay, and the CreditStrong will report delinquent payments to the same 3 credit bureaus that receive its reports on timely payments. This can actually result in decreasing your credit score. So just as it's important to maintain on-time payments with creditors, you also want to be sure to do the same with CreditStrong. And so with CreditStrong, you have loans without upfront money. That's just the bottom line here. Okay, so one thing you have to also remember here is that there are actually 2 competing credit score systems, Vantage Score and FICO Score. The FICO Score is by far the most widely used and probably the one you will want to watch as you work to improve your credit. And with either credit scoring model, payment history is an influential scoring factor, accounting for about 30 to 35%. If you've never used credit before, it will take at least 6 months for FICO to give you your first credit score. However, if you're just looking to slightly improve your score to qualify for a credit card or other form of financing, even just a few on-time payments with CreditStrong could push you across the finish line. What are the pros and cons of CreditStrong? Now, CreditStrong, the pros, they report to all 3 credit bureaus. As I said before, there is no credit check. Payment terms as long as 10 years. That's pretty cool. They have actually extended the duration of the loan. And there are no fees for early termination or prepayment. What about the cons? Interest rates may be higher than traditional loans, which makes sense because, this comes with the territory, right? If you're trying to build or rebuild loan, if you're trying to build or rebuild credit, it makes sense that you have to pay a little bit extra for the service, right? So they will charge you, I would say, a higher APR. How does CreditStrong really work? The company offers what is commonly known as a credit builder loan. So what they do is that they're basically they want to make sure that you qualify for the credit for the loan. So in order to apply for a CreditStrong account, you must be at least 18 years old. You need to be a permanent U.S. resident with a physical U.S. address. You need to have a valid Social Security number. You need to have a valid checking account, debit card, or prepaid card. You need to have a mobile phone number or Google Voice account. You need to have an email address. So in terms of approvals, CreditStrong says they use a database of past bank account behavior to determine your eligibility to the CreditStrong account. They also clearly say that they do not use your credit score in their decision process, and that there is no minimum income requirement. So you really don't need to have a 100 credit score or be making like $10,000 or $20,000 a month, right? And the thing here is that also, I want you to note that CreditStrong, if you happen to live in North Carolina, Wisconsin, and Vermont, right now you can't use the CreditStrong service because there are some regulations in your state that does not allow that those regulations do not allow the service to be present there at the moment. And the company does not also perform a hard inquiry on your account. So applying for CreditStrong will not impact your credit score. Having said that, CreditStrong has said that some users may see a slight dip due to their age of credit decreasing. However, they write, in this case, it's typical for your credit score to quickly rebound and increase with on-time payment history from the CreditStrong account loan. And you can feel free to pay your CreditStrong loan early. There is no early termination fee or prepayment fee. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. I'm still talking to you about CreditStrong. We're doing a review here of this service, and I want to speak to you now about the fees. So I've spoken to you about the services offered, the pros and cons, how the service works, and now I want to speak to you about the fees. You can see on the screen right now that CreditStrong currently has 7 plans. The fees and interest rates for each are detailed in the table right now that you see on the screen. So we have the subscribe 1,000, subscribe 2,500, build and save 1,000, build and save 1,000 twice actually, but the term is different, 12 months and 24 months, build and save 2,000, Magnum 4,500, Magnum 9,000, and Magnum 18,000. So you have the admin fees, the interest rates, and the terms that are associated with those tiered plans. And I'm just also showing you that this is the second snapshot we are showing you right now. Just an example of what subscribe 1,000 and subscribe 2,500 will cost you, from $15 to $30. And this is you can see this on the CreditStrong website. And let's have a deeper conversation. I want to take a deeper look at CreditStrong account options. So number 6, account options. Like with similar services, the amount you pay for a CreditStrong account will depend on which option you choose. On top of that, looking at their FAQ, it seems CreditStrong only recently switched up their account options. Previously, the service has had a total of 6 offerings with terms ranging from 12 to 24 months and monthly payments between $24 and $150. Now, this lineup has expanded to 7 products, with some taking on slightly different structure. And so one thing you have to pay attention to is you have to ask yourself, what are you really looking for? What is your goal? Because all those, so you have the subscribe 1,000 and subscribe 2,500 plans. Those in search for a low monthly payment may be interested in those subscribe 1,000 or subscribe 2,500. As the name implies, the 1,000 subscribe 1,000 shows as a $1,000 loan on your credit report, and for the 2,500 plan, it shows as a $2,500 loan on your report. So for the build and save plans, this is if you're looking for a more traditional credit builder loan option. And for the Magnum, this is really if you want to go a little high, so you want to show a larger amount on your credit builder, on your credit report. So it really depends on your situation, your financial situation, and what you're really trying to accomplish. Now, if you want to open a CreditStrong account, I've given you before the requirements in terms of citizenship, residency. Also, you need to have a bank account, of course. But if you want to open a CreditStrong account, you have to go to the website. We're showing you right now how it looks like, the application page. And it really takes about 5 minutes. When we tried it, it takes 5 minutes to complete the whole application. And your credit will not be affected by applying a CreditStrong, for a CreditStrong account. However, you will need to have a checking account, debit card, or a prepaid card in good standing in order to qualify. And what about the safety of funds? Are the funds safe? Yes. CreditStrong accounts are held in Austin Capital Bank, which is FDIC insured. And FDIC insurance offers up to $250,000 of deposit protection per account. And since none of CreditStrong's loans come in amounts anywhere near that level, your entire account will be insured. So the big question at the end of the day is this worth it? Is it worth it? For anyone wanting to build credit, CreditStrong could be a great solution. It's very easy to get approved for a credit line without a credit check, and a significant portion of your loan payments later become cool cash in your pocket. Just make sure to compare CreditStrong's interest rates and fees with other companies that offer credit builder accounts like Self-Lender, for example. So this is something that you really have to think about. And as for the saving account earning interest, do not expect to make any money. Really, do not. Because after the loan fees are taken into account, the net will be an overall expense. If interest is what you're after, you want to consider one of the favorite, one of the top high yield savings accounts on the internet. Like with Self, we think a credit building loan from CreditStrong could be a fantastic option. So this is what you have to think about. And we just want to advise potential customers to be mindful about the price they will pay for this service and carefully consider which option is best for them, especially in the long run. All right, folks. So our score today of CreditStrong is 9/10. We think this is a great service. They are pretty innovative. They are actually they are solving a big problem right now in the credit space, and this is a great company, and you might want to give them a try. So in today's conversation, I gave you an overview of the company, the services offered, the pros and cons, how the company really works, the fees, the account options, whether the money, your funds were safe or not, how to open an account with them, and whether it's worth it. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.